Tiger Woods looking for major victory number 15. Could it be days away? Could it be you've come to the right place to preview it? I think so. Perhaps we have the right person to talk about it. I would bank on it. Hi there. So glad to have you with us. Lauren Shehadi, along with the voice of CBS Sports, Jim Nantz, as we count down to the U.S. Open. Jim, how are you?
I'm doing well, and like a lot of golf fans out there, Lauren, I'm just anxious to get this next major underway and see what unfolds at Bethpage.
Well, let's get right to it. The U.S. Open returns to Bethpage Black in Farmingdale, New York this week, golf's second major of the season. Jim, when it comes to U.S. Open venues, Bethpage Black tough. From head to toe, dramatic elevation changes, demanding distances. Talk to me about this course.
Well, this course, was just an instant hit when it hosted the U.S. Open back in 2002, and it was part of the U.S. Open, the USGA's initiative to try to take this National Open to public golf courses, and it was just a raging success. And I had a chance to watch it. Obviously, we weren't broadcasting it, nor will we be this year. It's an NBC event, but I enjoyed being out there in the gallery and watching the players battle it out, and a really great tournament unfolded there that had, in the end, Tiger winning with Phil Mickelson right on his heels and Sergio Garcia in the chase, and we could very, very, very likely see all three of them, of course, right near the top again this year.
And Jim, you and I can both agree, a fun crowd in New York. Like I said, can it beat last year? Tiger Woods, the defending champion. Let's go back to even 2002 at Bethpage. Tiger and Phil battling, Tiger coming out on top. He just won the last event at the Memorial 2 weeks ago. Jim, how do you not take Tiger over the field?
Well, it's hard to, build a case that anybody would be a favorite over Tiger. But when you're talking about picking one guy to win a tournament, I mean, he's the closest thing there is to a deadlock cinch. But golf's a finicky, fickle thing, and to think that going into this tournament that it's just a foregone conclusion for anyone, whether it was Jack Nicklaus in his prime or Tiger Woods right now in his heyday, that's asking a lot. But he certainly comes off a performance at the Memorial Tournament where he hit every single fairway on Sunday, one of the real masterful virtuoso rounds of his distinguished career. And I just think that if that's still in sync and in rhythm, that certainly bodes not only well for Tiger, maybe, but by Tiger winning by a lot, in fact, by winning by like margins he used to win some of these tournaments, like the U.S. Open at Pebble Beach in 2000 when he won by 15. Now, I'm not predicting anything like that, but if he's totally on go like this again, and I think a lot of the top players have to be, intimidated by what he just did with that win at Nicklaus's tournament, it could be quite a Tiger show coming up.
I'm holding you to that prediction, Jim.
Well, I'm on a cold streak right now, so I don't think anyone wants to have my name predicting them to win. But, wouldn't it be something if Tiger was there on Sunday and Phil Mickelson was fighting it out for the National Open alongside with all that the Mickelson family's been through here in the last month with the with the news that Amy Mickelson's suffering from breast cancer. And, I think Phil Mickelson's going to have a great tournament. People shouldn't read too much into his performance at Memphis. And I really do think that Phil's going to be ready to play this at a very high level.
Jim, you mentioned Mickelson. He played last week. His putter was off. I played last week. My putter was off. You see, I'm comparing myself to Phil Mickelson. How does he remedy that?
It sometimes can be just the slightest little tweak. For anyone, whether it's Phil or Tiger, they all have it kind of going sideways in their head at times. I mean, if it was that easy, then, Tiger would just win every single tournament. And it maybe feels like to some people that he does, but the reality is he wins about 33% of the time he tees it up, which is remarkable. But that means the other weeks that something's gone a little haywire. And just a little adjustment, head position or eye position or the ball or the putter too far forward in his stance, and, Phil can get it back. And putting always gets down to one thing more than anything technical anyway, and that's confidence. And, he had been out of action for 5 weeks, really, devoting all of his time to Amy's situation and trying to get the best medical attention for her. And, he needed that week of practice. And I think, we shouldn't read anything into how many putts dropped for him the week before the U.S. Open.
Perhaps he'll have the Phil fan club like he did back in 2002, a U.S. Open Phil would like to forget now, Jim, 2006. Jeff Ogilvy would like to remember that every day of the week. He has 2 wins this year thus far. That '06 Open to his credit. You like what you're seeing from him thus far?
I do like Jeff Ogilvy's game, and it's due. He's due for another major win, I would think. The win at the Winged Foot U.S. Open that you alluded to in 2006. And again, I don't want to take anything away from Jeff because he is a super talent, but that was given to him in a way. Sure, he chipped in at the 71st hole and made a great up and down par at the 72nd hole. Did Ogilvy, but Phil, double bogeyed the last hole, and Ogilvy's the type of guy that when he's in the mix, let's say with a Tiger, like he was last year at Doral, he plays pretty fearlessly. He's won the match play event a few times. He won the season opening event over at Maui at Kapalua. He's got game, and he's got the talent to go out there and seize one of these majors by the throat on his own. And that's going to be happening pretty soon. Maybe it's this week.
One of 2 Australians to win the U.S. Open. We will see how that plays out. Jim, the U.S. Open wraps on Father's Day. I asked my father where he wanted me to, take him for dinner. He told me a place with TV. So I clearly know where I stand. The U.S. Open is the priority. And we know how a special bond that you shared with your dad, as written in your book. How special is it for the winner to be able to share that moment on Father's Day?
Well, I think that through the years, you think of some of the moments, and you just go back to flashback to Tiger's win last year, which happened the day after Father's Day because it was a Monday finish, but still it was, deep with emotion. And, you go back to like a Ken Venturi winning in 1964 and what that meant to win on Father's Day weekend. And, how about this one on a 10-year anniversary of Payne Stewart winning at Pinehurst, winning the U.S. Open and defeating Phil by 1 shot. Stewart with an amazing up and down from 80 yards out for a 4 at the last hole to beat Phil when his wife Amy was expecting their first child any minute and would in fact deliver their baby daughter on the day after the Pinehurst U.S. Open. But I'll never forget that moment when Payne holed the putt to win it by 1 over Phil, and Stewart, in all of his glee and euphoria, went over to Phil and grabbed him by the face and looked right at him and said, "You're going to be a great father. You're going to be a great father." In other words, hey, you're going to, I'm sorry I won this Open, but, you're about to get something. It's going to be better than winning an Open. You're going to be a dad. And he was basically telling him, too, one day you're going to win this thing anyway. You're going to be a great father. Wouldn't it be something on the 10-year anniversary of that if that came back and panned out to be true again?
Such incredible memories and moments throughout the year. Jim Nantz, CBS Sports, I appreciate it.
Thanks, Lauren, and that's a good message. As a father here, I think that on Father's Day that if the dads want to watch the U.S. Open, let's rally around Dad and let them watch the U.S. Open.
Absolutely, and happy Father's Day to you, Jim.
Thank you so much, Lauren.
The countdown to the U.S. Open. You know where to go. For Jim Nantz, I'm Lauren Shehadi. Thanks for watching.